Welcome to Art 1 with Mrs. Cox. Hi there, I'm Mrs. Cox. Welcome to my classroom. You chose to take Art 1 this year as your elective. That means that some of you are going to be coming from a place where maybe you've been in an art class before. Possibly when you were in elementary school, you had an art teacher that you would see every once in a while. But there's going to be plenty of people in this class who have never been in an art room before. Now, one fun challenge for me as a teacher teaching Art 1 is that I'm going to have students at every different level. And my goal is to take you at whatever level you're at and to help you improve a little bit at a time throughout the year until by the end of the year you'll see that you're far more capable than you might have ever thought you would be. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in the Houston area. If you're not sure where that is, San Antonio's right here, and on the other side here we have Houston. I went to college at Texas State University and I got my degree in studio art with all-level teaching certification. With that degree, I was able to explore a variety of different studios and a ton of different modes of art making. I got to be pretty good at ceramics and I worked a lot in printmaking, drawing, painting. I learned how to weld, how to solder, and a bunch of other different really fun ways to work with materials to make art, and I love being able to share what I learned there with my students. This is some of my work. I am a working artist here in the San Antonio area. My main medium is paint. I make custom paintings, commissioned works, and I paint a lot of murals. You may be familiar with some of my murals because a bunch of them are at schools around here. If you've been to Scarborough Elementary School, I have a number of murals there. I also painted the entire library at Henderson Elementary School, and the Home of the Fighting Stallions mural at the back of the gym here at Folks is also an example of one of my murals. These are the people I live with. My son is going into 2nd grade this year, and my daughter will be a 1st grader. My husband is a management consultant for Ernst & Young. Sounds super exciting, right? He also coaches here in town. I also have entirely too many cats. About this class, Art 1 is what we call a survey course. That means I'm not just focusing on one thing. I'm going to be teaching you about a variety of different media. We're going to be exploring drawing and sculpture, watercolor, photography, printmaking, ceramics. I'm going to try to hit everything this year. As far as supplies go, if you're working from home, do the best with what you've got. Last school year, I was able to see some really amazing creative projects coming out of students while they were working at home with just whatever they could find around the house. I had people turning in drawings that were done on the inside of cardboard from cereal boxes, sculptures built out of things they found around their house and in their backyard. And because students had to be really creative and think out of the box with supplies, they ended up with some amazing projects because of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more work like that. Art kits will be available for purchase, hopefully super soon. I will send out information as soon as I get information about those. The art kits would be a bag of art supplies that would be your own personal materials, just for you. Those are hopefully going to be able to be purchased online. The district is currently working on setting that up. Again, I will send out information as soon as possible. While you're working, I'm going to be grading you, not based on whether I like your artwork or whether or not I think it's pretty. I will be grading you based on a rubric. The rubric is usually going to be me looking for your use of the materials. How well did you use the materials that we were using after I taught you about them? Your time and effort. How much time and effort did you put into it? And how much creativity did you put into it? There are 2 different types of grades. We've got formative grades that are kind of like your daily grades, and summative grades. In our class, those are going to be the big projects. The summative grades will have less of, so there might be only 1 or 2 summative grades, but they're worth 50% of your grade, whereas the formative grades are smaller, but there's going to be more of them. Often, I'll ask you to send me a picture of your progress on a big project, and that will count as a formative grade. If you're struggling, I'm going to have tutoring available so that you'll get some extra help and you can ask me questions. While we are working virtually, make sure that you are on time for our Zoom meetings. I want to check in with you the first 15 minutes of every class and take attendance and see what kind of art you guys are making. Make sure that you're using your online manners as well. I am sure that everything is going to go amazing. Let me show you our classroom. Come on in. We are in the portables, which is super duper exciting. When we are back in the classroom, this is what it will look like. On the back wall is where I will hang your amazing artwork. That big red thing in the corner is Clifford. Clifford is kind of like a sink, but also kind of not. When we are back in the classroom, this is where I will usually be working and then projecting what I am doing up on the board so that you can see what's going on. I do have a pottery wheel. I do teach pottery to students. But here at this desk is where I will probably be working for at least the beginning of the school year, teaching you things virtually. I am so glad that you chose to take Art 1 this year. And even though being in an art class from your home might not be ideal, at least you are taking art, which is the best class for sure. See you soon.